Hey guys, Kyle here. First official video, I guess you could say. I'm working on an 820-3332A Macbook Pro logic board from 2012. I've got to replace these little Thunderbolt ICs on the board so we can have working and happy Thunderbolt ports. First thing I'm going to do is try not to lose my shit because I'm actually waiting for some new soldering gear, including a T12 soldering station. So at the moment, I've just been getting by with some no-name brand Chinese station, which has horrible tips and makes a horrible buzzing noise now. Sounds great for safety. And the infamous TS100, which I don't hate, but I don't love. It's just kind of like, eh. And I have to use this stupid DC jack in the end of it, and it's I don't know, it's just not what I want. I want a desktop unit. The TS100, you know, has its place, but I feel like it's a better portable soldering iron than it is for desktop use. So I'm just letting my Chinese station heat up here, because even though it does buzz away, it should let me get the job done. So the first thing I'm just going to do here is clean up these pads and get it ready for the IC to go down with some hot air. Been trying some different flux. Usually I use the Amtech clone stuff, and it probably doesn't perform anywhere near as good as the real Amtech stuff, but I'm too cheap to buy the real Amtech stuff at the moment, and also it's like impossible to get in Australia, you know, so you basically have to import everything. And then I'm just also trying some Mechanic SD360, which is quite good, but it is sort of I don't know, it's very runny. That's how I would describe it, but it does work pretty well. So let's put down some SD360. It is very clear, which is one thing I like about it. And again, it does work quite well. And you don't have to wonder whether it's real or not, like genuine or fake, because it's just a straight up Chinese brand, so, you know. It is what it is. Much better. Just trying to remove those couple of those high points. Okay, I got 360 degrees on the hot air station. Now, looking at the board view before, where are my tweezers? It was noted that this is pin 1, and this is the last pin here. So we need to orient the chip correctly, so put down some flux. See, this is what I mean about this SD360. It's good, but it's just like running out of the tube from the residual pressure. It just tends to go everywhere, all over the desk. So I'm just grabbing one of these little ICs out, making sure that I don't flick it halfway across the room and never find it again, and then have to wait 2 weeks to order it from AliExpress again. Gotta bring this around. And we are going this way. The dot indicates the first pin, so the first pin starting on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah, and going around. So since this is where pin 1 needs to go, we need it to go there like so. Now with QFNs, which is the type of package type this is, it's really important that I've found to push down on the chip fairly hard. Not so hard that you crack it in half, but fairly hard so that all the pads are adhered to the chip, or the chip is adhered to the board, whatever way you want to look at it. I'm going to try 360 degrees with 1% airflow. I'm going to put some Captain tape around the connectors on the left here to protect the plastic connectors. Better to be safe than sorry, as they say. Right, and now of course my chip has come out of alignment, so let's just fix him up again. Just going to preheat the board a little bit from a distance and then go in for the kill. Okay, looking pretty schmick. So now I'm just going to use the ye old probably don't need any more flux actually. Ye old soldering iron. And just touch up those pads. It's hard to get in there because of that stupid calf that's in the way, but just bump the temperature up a little bit here. Going up to 420. And I will add a bit of fresh flux, even though it already looks like there's quite a lot, but when in doubt, add more flux. Beautiful. Now before I go ahead, I'm just going to clean that up. It'll work, hopefully. I think we might have to go in with a bit of toothbrushing action. Not too bad, not too bad. So that's our first one. And now we need to do the second one. It's basically the same thing all over again. Oh, what a joy. Stop doing that. Thank you. I'm probably way too OCD with making these pads perfect in reality, but yeah, I think that'll do. Let's grab our second IC, and before doing that, might want to add some flux. Beautiful. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Okay. Now, add some Captain Tape to remove the possibility of being stupid. Well, I can't remove it entirely, but we can try. So protect these plastic connectors once again. And try and stick them to the edge, even though they never really want to listen. Yep. Bloody hell. Oh well, that's where aluminium tape, or aluminum tape, whatever you want to call it, comes in handy. Most people won't do this because they're not stupid enough to burn the plastic connectors, but accidents can happen, and I really don't want to go replacing any connectors on top of this crap, so this is how it's going to be. Rightio. Same as before. Hopefully this time it goes a little bit smoother. Just preheat the area a little bit. This one's cooperating a lot better. Look at that. That's what we want. That's what we like. Except for this stupid capacitor in the way, but alright, let's clean that up. Have a look at it. I apologize for screwing up the microscope camera because the field of view is different to what I see in the eyepieces, at least at this point in time, because I need to get some adapters. Shut up. Thank you. Toothbrush is really the poor man's ultrasonic cleaner. But you know, it does the job. The thing that I don't like about these tips here that I'm using to clean is that the fibers tend to get stuck on the board, as you can see. You know, I can probably just test these ports without putting it all back in the top case. Right, so theoretically should have working Thunderbolt ports if it's going to be a good day. Now, the thing that I got to be careful about is plugging this Thunderbolt port in the right way. It's got to go that way. Alright. I'll just do it like that. I just use the top case to figure out the orientation of the Thunderbolt cable, and now I should be able to test it on the bench. No signal. So unfortunately that has not solved the issue. Well, I don't even have video on the internal display now. What? Why would that be? Okay, so now we have no internal video. So now we are working on two issues. We are working on getting the actual Thunderbolt connector working, and fixing whatever the fuck's happened with the internal display now. It's not even being told to turn on. There's no LCD power. Okay, so all signs point to this chip being a dickhead. I don't know why this chip would have decided to be a dickhead now, but who knows? It's a Mac, so... Let's just see if we get any different result. Lo and behold, we now have GPU enable. So let's see now if we have power to the LVDS, and we do. 5 volts. So for whatever reason, U8900 decided, hey, my solder joints are ready to just turn into shit, and the GPU is not going to enable. So, yeah, I wanted to keep a lot of this in the video because you'll go to do a repair, and then sometimes, just by coincidence, you'll have something that appears to be a result of the repair that you just did, but it's actually just a complete fucking coincidence. Like, I was working on, just to show you, if I can, well, actually, probably easier here, I was working on this side of the board, and a chip all the way over here decided, hey, I'm going to have some cold solder joints. And after research on a bunch of forums, it does seem that U8900 has issues with cold solder joints after a while. So by going around the edge and renewing those joints, it brought us back our, I think it was GPU enable, GPU vCore enable. So basically what was happening was that chip was having some issues, having some connection issues with the board, and as a result it was not enabling the GPU. So now I can put this back in the top case. And we should have video once again. Fan spin. And we have our internal display working again. Thank fuck. So that probably explains why our Thunderbolt port didn't work the first time we tried it. Because the GPU wasn't turning on at all. So, let's try it now. And we have external video as well. So there's our external monitor, although a bit upside down for you. And our Mac working via the Thunderbolt port. So this Mac is officially fixed. Basically, we needed to replace the two Thunderbolt controller ICs, and then for some reason U8900 decided, hey, I'm going to be a pain in the ass, so we had to refresh the connections on that. But after that, it now turns on the GPU, and the two ICs have been correctly soldered, so we have Thunderbolt video output. And no doubt a Thunderbolt Ethernet adapter would work fine too. I'll be testing that next. So yeah, thanks for watching. I've cut this video down to prevent it from dragging on, but I hope that was somewhat interesting, and yeah, thanks for watching.